Hi there, beautiful souls. How are you today? How are you feeling after all these gorgeous videos? So in this video, we wanted to circle back to the need for control because we touched on it. And then I thought we were going to talk about it in the last one, but we're back now. We've circled back. Why do we need to control anything? Anyone? Anyone? Any guesses? Why do you feel? Sit with yourself in this moment. Really sit with yourself. Close your eyes. Ask the question. With your eyes closed, ask, why do I feel the need to control anything? Really think about it. Why do I need to control? Allow the answer to come up. You can open your eyes now. For me, the need to control came in my adult years because as a child, especially if you go through trauma, or abuse of any kind, you have no control. You have no control over these big beings that are coming in, these adults, and doing things to us that we're not comfortable with, we're not happy with, we don't want it. But we can't say, stop, no, don't, any of that. We have no say. So we have no control. So what happens? You go into your adult years and you become a control freak, because that was me for a really long time. Super control freak. And it's only just recently in this year that I've understood, oh, I get it now. When you grow up, you want to control everything. Because somehow controlling everything gives you a sense of safety. If you can control this, then there won't be any surprises there. And if you can control that, then, that's okay. It's exactly the way I like it. There's no surprises there. Things can't just pop out at you and, bad things will happen. If I can control, bad things won't happen. Control comes when we don't feel safe. And more than that, control comes when we don't trust. We don't trust the beautiful universe, that we are supported. We don't trust that we are loved. We don't trust that we are held in the highest by spirit. Our angels, when they see us and our spirit team, they see us as the highest. They never see us as broken. This is something that just came through. They never see you as you need to change or fix or do anything. Every time they've come in to a Reiki session, the being they are looking at, they look at you like you are divine perfection, because you are. You are perfect just as you are, with all your gorgeous human flaws. All of you is perfect, just as you are. We didn't come here to be perfect. And that's one that took me a really long time to realize. We didn't come to earth to be perfect. We're already that when we're not here. We came here to be imperfect, humanly imperfect. In every aspect, in every sense. So, my beautiful beings, really sit with yourself today and ask, why do I feel the need to control? Where is it within myself that I don't feel safe? Where is it within myself that I don't trust? Where do you feel that you don't trust? Why? Why can't you trust? What is going on within you? That if you let go, what will happen? You know, it's so funny because a few years ago, I was having this conversation with Rikka, and I remember at the time we were talking about that very question, about letting go. And at the time, I was thinking, well, hang on a minute. I got really angry, with this conversation, because I thought, well, hang on a minute. Because if I'm given free will, how is it free will if I come here and I don't have a choice because it's his will? It's like, if it's God's will and that's the only will that there is, how is it free will? And I got a real bee in my bonnet about it, that, hang on a minute, how is this free will? I got really upset about it, And I thought, it's not, it's his will. So it kind of felt like when I was growing up, I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a say. It was whatever my parents said, that's what we had to do. And when we went to church, the same. Whatever the priest said, that's what we had to do. That's it. There was no say. There was no free will. It didn't feel like free will, because free will to me feels like I have a choice, right? I have a choice. Where's my choice? If letting go is just letting God do whatever he wants with me, where's my choice? Where's my free will? If it's just God's will and that's it. These were the questions. And this may be what's going around in your head at the moment. You may be in this space, but at least you're in this space. Trying to find yourself here. Your soul has free will. Your soul. When you become self-aware, which means aware of your self, your higher self, when you get in contact with your higher self, you reconnect, which is what all of these beautiful videos are for you to be able to reconnect with your higher self, to reconnect with your spirit guides, who were there the moment you were born. They were with you, cheering you on that you're going in. Good luck, have fun. They're your biggest fans, by the way. So here you are. The moment you reconnect with your beautiful higher self, you will realize, when you become aware of your higher self, you become aware that you are spirit having a human experience. All of those things. You understand, oh, okay, I get it. I get it now. My soul chose this experience. That's what free will is. I chose before I came here. Oh, this is the experience that I want to have. However that looks, it may not make sense to the human mind. You sit there and your ego's going, really, we chose this? What were we thinking? Right? The ego's probably telling you all of that. Why would you ever choose this? What the heck is wrong with you? That's the ego. That's the separate I. But there's a bigger picture. The picture that your soul can see. The picture that spirit can see. And you need to go through these experiences to be where you are today, to be who you are today. Because in every moment, it's not about the doing, it's about the being. What are you being in this moment? Are you being unworthy? Are you being undeserving? How does that feel? What does that feel like? To be undeserving, to be unworthy. What does it feel like to be ashamed of who you are? Know in your heart, in this moment, my spirit guides are telling me to say to you that there is nothing that you can say, and there is nothing that you can do, my beautiful beings, that they would love you any less. You are perfect just as you are. And the things you have said and the things you have done are because of the experiences that you've had. They've led you to be here. They're not for you to spend the rest of your life being ashamed that, oh, I said that and I hurt that person and they'll never forgive me. Yes, you can spend the rest of your days in shame if that is what you choose. You have a choice in every moment. You can remember the magnificent being that you are. That you are so powerful that whatever you imagine, whatever you see in your mind, becomes reality for you. That's how powerful you are. That is the power that you have within you, all of us. That is the power of spirit. And that is what we are made of. We are creators. That's what we are doing here, creating in every moment. In every moment. And in any given moment, you can choose love over fear and shift everything. You can choose the love that you are. In any moment. You can choose to remember, this is who I am. I am the love. I am the light. I am peace. I am joy. This is who I am. This is what I am. It's what I'm made of. My beautiful beings. So, free will is remembering that you chose all of it. And when you remember that you chose all of it, then to be able to look at it all and wonder, what was my soul looking to gain from this experience? Why did it choose this? Why not something else? And every path has problems, has issues. You know, we may look at, oh, these wealthy people that have all these wonderful things. They're things, material things. They can have whatever they want. But know in your heart that every path has its challenges. Every path has its issues. Every path has its pain and suffering. If that is what the soul chose to experience within every path. No path is better than any other path. No path is easier than any other path. It may look like it is, but inside that person may be screaming. Say the wealthy, you're looking at the wealthy and you think, oh, they have this huge house and they have 10 cars in the garage and they have whatever else you're looking at when you observe that life. Inside that person may be screaming, I am so lonely. I'm all alone in the world. And that is their challenge. For others that don't have that wealth, perhaps within you, you're screaming, I'm struggling. Financially, I'm struggling. I can't make ends meet. How am I going to pay the next bill? And that's your challenges, and that's what you came to experience. But every path has its challenges. That's the whole point. They're like quests in a game. You know, in a video game, you come in and every level that you go through, there's quests, there's things that you need to complete to get to the next level. And this is what a lifetime seems like. You're going through these quests to gain the knowledge for the next level, the skills, gain those skills for the next level. Being wealthy may be one of the hardest, highest levels that there are. Being poor may be one of the lower levels. There's less involved. Who knows? I'm not sure what the levels are. I'm just saying, just because it looks easy on the outside doesn't mean it is so on the inside. And remember, the inside is what counts. The inside is what matters. If I'm rich, I'm wealthy, I have billions of dollars in the bank, there's always the issue that people that come into my life are just interested in that. How can I get some of that? They're not interested in me. They're not interested in my friendship. They're not interested in my love. They're just interested in what's in it for them. What can they get out of this? You know? So I remember when I was younger, there was, early 20s. And there was this girl, and she was so, so beautiful, you know. But that was a conversation that we had. That she always had this issue that when guys came up to her, that they were more looking at, she was like a prize to be won. You know, that, oh, you know, now she's, you know, walking, holding their arm. And look, you know, look at what I have. Rather than, you know, there's a person in here. I have feelings. You know, I want to be seen for who I am, not for what I look like on the outside. And so that was in the way for her, you know, and she used to get really upset about that, that guys were just not looking at her, for the person that she was, you know. And so every path has its challenges, you know, even when we look at people that are good looking, you know, I've always been blessed. The people that come into my life, you know, I don't have that in the way. I don't look spectacular, you know, I'm not gorgeous in any way that whoever comes into my life, they're just after me for my looks because, you know, it's going to make them look good that I'm with them. That doesn't get in the way for me. So the partners that I have had, we've had very deep, meaningful relationships, you know, that we can talk for hours sometimes, you know, and really get to know each other because that's not in the way. Sometimes these things we think, oh, I wish I had that. How would that feel? How wonderful would that be if I had that? And we don't realize that sometimes these things can get in the way, you know, of us having deep, meaningful relationships with others. So, hopefully that helps you to shift a little bit of how you see others now. That is their path. That is the experience they came to have. So, my beautiful beings, this video was about control. Why do we need to control anything? And especially when we feel the need to control others, our partners, our children, our parents. Why do we need to control them? Really sit with yourself today and allow this information to come through. Why do I need to control my partner? Why do I need to know every single move that he makes? Why do I need to be checking on his phone to see who's sending him messages, or through his emails to see who he's writing to and who's writing back to him? Why do I need to do any of that? Why do I need to do that with my children? Why do I need to be controlling everything they do? What is the control really about? My beautiful beings. And when you really sit with it, you'll notice, you'll realize it's about not trusting. It's about not feeling safe. And it's all about what you've been through up until now. But they're just experiences that you've had. They're not who you are. All right, my beautiful beings. We love you dearly. So remember to click like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the messages. And we'll see you in the next video, okay? Bye for now.